You lean in for a cuddle, your cat headbutts you right on the chin, purring away, and then that smell hits you, not just ate fish breath. That thick, sour, something's not right smell that makes you pull back for a second before you even realize you did it. I know how unsettling that moment is, that half second where you go from loving on your cat to quietly wondering what's going on inside that mouth you can't even get her to open for you. Maybe you've already tried the dental treats from the pet aisle, the ones with the cartoon toothbrush on the bag. Maybe you've even attempted brushing once or twice, ended up scratched and given up entirely. But here's what most cat owners don't know. There's a single, inexpensive addition you can make to her food bowl today that actually works with her biology to start softening plaque and slowing tartar buildup. No wrestling match required. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what it is, how much to use, and just as importantly, what it can't do, so you're not caught off guard later. If that's what brought you here, you're in the right place. Dental disease is one of the most common things I diagnose in cats. Some studies put it at over half of cats over age 3, showing some degree of periodontal disease. And most of it goes completely unnoticed by owners, because cats are experts at hiding discomfort. My approach here is the same as always. I'm not telling you to skip professional dental cleanings. Those are still essential once tartar has fully hardened. What I want to give you are the root cause daily habits that slow the problem down and in the early stages can actually help reverse it before it gets to that point. Today I'm walking you through 4 layers. Grab a notebook that I recommend to cat owners in my own practice, in the order I'd actually introduce them. 1. The seaweed additive that actually has research behind it. Let's start with the one ingredient in this video that isn't a kitchen hack. It's an actual studied compound, a specific brown seaweed called Ascophyllum nodosum. Here's the mechanism. This seaweed changes the mineral composition of your cat's saliva in a way that makes it harder for plaque bacteria to bind to the tooth surface and mineralize into hardened tartar. It doesn't scrub anything off mechanically, it works chemically. From the inside, meal after meal. You'll find this as a fine powder sold specifically as a pet dental supplement. Look for one where Ascophyllum nodosum is the main active ingredient. For an average adult cat, that's typically around a 1/4 teaspoon, sprinkled directly onto wet or dry food once daily, though I'd always follow the exact dose on your product's label since concentrations vary by brand. Warning here, this seaweed is naturally high in iodine, so it's not appropriate for cats with hyperthyroidism or any thyroid condition. Check with your vet first if your cat has a thyroid history. And don't double the dose thinking it'll work faster. More iodine isn't a shortcut, it's a risk. Once that daily habit is in place, we move to something that works on the plaque that's already sitting on the tooth surface today. 2. Coconut oil, the antibacterial layer. Coconut oil contains a fatty acid called lauric acid, which has genuine antibacterial properties against several of the bacterial species that drive plaque formation in the mouth. It's not a myth, it's one of the few kitchen ingredients with real antimicrobial evidence behind it. The method, a very small amount, about 1/8 of a teaspoon, no more melted, just enough to go semi-liquid, then either mixed into food or applied directly to the gum line with a clean fingertip if your cat tolerates it. Used consistently, this can help reduce the bacterial load that turns soft plaque into hard tartar over time. But please hear this vet warning. Coconut oil is calorie-dense and in larger amounts can cause loose stools or contribute to weight gain in a small-bodied cat. This is a less is more ingredient, 1/8 of a teaspoon, not a spoonful, and not every single day if your cat is already prone to a sensitive stomach. That handles the bacteria. Now let's talk about the layer most owners skip entirely, even though it's the one with the biggest mechanical impact. 3. Mechanical action, texture, and technique. Chemistry can only do so much. Physically disrupting plaque before it hardens is still the single most effective thing you can do, which means texture and technique matter enormously. For texture, dental-specific Kibble is designed with a fiber structure that resists shattering, so the tooth sinks into it and scrapes against the surface rather than the Kibble just cracking apart on contact. If your cat eats wet food exclusively, offering a small amount of this dental Kibble as a treat, not a replacement, adds that scraping action back in. For technique, even 30 seconds of gentle brushing 3 to 4 times a week with a finger brush or a very soft bristled cat toothbrush and a feline-specific enzymatic toothpaste makes a measurable difference. Start by just letting your cat lick the paste off your finger for a few days before you ever touch a brush to her teeth. Building that positive association first is what actually makes this stick long-term. Vet warning, and this one's important, never use human toothpaste. Many contain xylitol, which is highly toxic to cats even in small amounts, and fluoride levels that are unsafe for them to swallow, which they will. Only ever use a toothpaste made specifically for pets. With the mechanical piece in place, there's one more layer that ties everything together, and it's the easiest one of all. 4. The water bowl layer. This last one takes almost no effort. Dental water additives, liquid solutions formulated specifically for pets, often containing safe antibacterial agents like chlorhexidine at pet-appropriate concentrations, get added directly to your cat's drinking water and work passively every single time she takes a sip. Follow the exact dosing on the product label based on your cat's water bowl size, and make sure you're using one labeled specifically for cats, not dogs, since concentrations differ. The safety note here is simple. Introduce it gradually and watch for reduced water intake. Some cats are sensitive to any change in water taste and will drink less if you switch too abruptly, and reduced water intake is its own health risk, especially for kidney function. If you notice her avoiding the water, dilute it further or discontinue and stick with the other 3 layers. 4 layers is a lot to take in, and I want to be upfront. Please don't start all 4 on the same day. Introduce one every few days, seaweed powder first, then coconut oil, then the brushing routine, then the water additive last, since that's the one cats are most likely to be picky about. And I want to be completely honest with you about something important. None of this dissolves tartar that is already hardened onto the tooth. Once plaque mineralizes into true tartar, only a professional cleaning under anesthesia can remove it safely. What these 4 layers do, and what they do very well, is slow new plaque from forming and stop the problem from getting worse while you work with your vet on the rest. I know dental care is one of those things that's easy to put off, especially with a cat who isn't exactly lining up to have her teeth brushed. That hesitation you feel isn't neglect, it's just how hard this particular part of cat parenting is. If this helped you, hit that like button. It helps this reach other cat owners dealing with the same stinky breath mystery you were just describing to yourself 5 minutes ago. Subscribe if you haven't, because there's a lot more of this root cause content coming.